All right, so in this video, we're going to look at piecewise. Oh, not that one. We're going to look at piecewise functions. Here we go. So it's piece spelled like I want a piece of pie, like that kind of stuff. All right. So not piece like as in piece dude. The way it works is you've got one function, but it's broken up into two pieces. All right. And depending on what number you plug in, like 5 or 10, you might use one part of the function over another. So the way this works is if the number that you plug in for x, if it's greater than 7, so like 7.1 or 8, then you're going to be using this function, all right? And you would plug in, 7.1 or 8 for x. If the number that you're choosing for x is less than or equal to 7, then you're going to use that function. All right? So all we're going to be doing here is just evaluating the function. So f of 5, so we're going to go up to our f function and plug in 5 for x. Now 5 is less than or equal to 7, so that means we're going to be using this part. So we're going to say 2 parentheses 5 plus 4. All right? Then just work this out. 2 times 5 is 10, and then 10 plus 4 is 14. Easy peasy. All right, let's try f of 10. So 10 is going to be greater than 7, right? It's not less than or equal to 7. It's greater than 7. So you're going to plug in 10 for x here. All right, so it's going to be 4 minus 3 times 10. Okay, so this is 4 minus 30, and 4 minus 30 is negative 26. All right. All right, last one here for this example is f of 7. So a lot of times, like in, say, calculus, this is something that my nephew just recently asked me. They were trying to determine whether this function, a function like this, is continuous or not. And one of the things that they have to look for is where the two intervals meet up with each other. So they meet up with each other at 7, right? Basically, the way it works out is in calculus, you would plug in 7 for x on both of these functions and see if you get the same answer back on both of them. All right, and that'll tell you whether the function was continuous or not. But we're not doing that. We're not doing calculus. We're just plugging in 7 for x. All right, x equals 7 is not this one. All right, x is less than or equal to 7. It falls into that category right there. So we're going to plug in 7 for x. So it's 2 times 7 plus 4. All right, 2 times 7 is 14. And then 14 plus 4 is 18. Moving on. That was easy. All right, this one, a little bit different, not much. This one is a piecewise function that has quadratics making it up. So quadratic just means it's to the second power. So we're going to use this long function if x is less than negative 2. And we're going to use this function if x is greater than negative 2. So let's try negative 4 for x. We're going to plug in negative 4. Well, is negative 4 less than negative 2, or is it greater than negative 2? That's right. It's less than negative 2. So we're going to plug it into this function. Remember, when you're plugging in negatives and you've got exponents floating around, make sure that you wrap that thing in parentheses, right? So you could use a calculator at this point if you wanted to. I'm just going to work it out. Negative 4 squared, that is 16. Negative 4 times negative 4. The next part is a plus 12 because you got a negative 3 and a negative 4. And then plus 1. All right, this is equal to 28. And then 28 plus 1 is 29, suckers. There we go. Got it. For the next one, this one's actually a little weird. F of negative 2. So we're actually plugging in negative 2 for x. Well, the problem here is that negative 2 is not less than negative 2. So I can't use this function. I can't use that one. And negative 2, it's not greater than negative 2 either. So I can't use this function. So this right here is, we would say it's not defined. All right, or we'd say it's undefined, or it doesn't have an answer, or go somewhere else. All right, because your input doesn't fall into either of these two categories, you can't evaluate it. All right, last one for real this time. We're going to do f of 4 minus f of negative 6. Let's see how I can do this here. So f of 4 minus f of negative 6. All right, so f of 4 is going to fall into this category because 4 is greater than negative 2. So we're going to be plugging in 4 for x on this function. Hopefully you already see what's happening. All right, that's going to be 4 minus 4 squared. All right, that was just that part. And then minus, now for f of negative 6, well, negative 6 is less than negative 2, so we're going to be plugging in negative 6 for that function there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator for this. Negative 6. Ooh, I got these weird sneezes. Sorry. Negative 6 squared minus 3 times negative 6, and then plus 1. Okay. So I got 55. 55, that was what f of negative 6 was. All right, so f of negative 6 was 55. And then 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 to the second power is 0. 0 minus 55 is our answer, negative 55. All right, I got some better examples coming up next.